Excuse me. Well, everybody, this is looks like we're ready to set and go. As I had mentioned, I was going to provide a, a pre-recorded screencast for BISS 1144 BISS 4403 data admin on the 5th of April. Which is Thursday. And so this is part one of those video casts. And we're going to work on chapter 13. So let's just go into the website, and we're going to take a look. First of all, we're going to go into the modules, and we're going to see where we're at. This is week 10. I believe it's module 10, week 10. And we'll scroll down here. Okay. And of course, this week we are talking about the 5th, April the 5th. And as I had sent out to everybody, an announcement today for BISS 4403 data admin, I was going to provide a pre-recorded screencast. I have to deal with the medical deal. And so I can't be there at 6 o'clock on Thursday night, but I can provide you with a screencast, and so you'll be in good shape. Now, as we scroll on down here, we're past spring break. All right. And we're now at week number 9, which is 4-5-18. Now let's just talk about this for just a minute. I have some information here for you, just some interesting kinds of ways that we use databases for all kinds of purposes to get information, visual, and this is a key, I guess if you would like to call it, theoretical concept, the visual information seeking mantra. That is how we do that. We follow that process. Here's something kind of fun to look at: the most popular surname in each state. Okay, this is an interesting little link about how folks are trying to assess credit risk in China. And here is a look at General Electric. This company, it's 124 years old, and how they're using database technology and applications of it to make their company sustainable. And I have here's a link on the use of artificial intelligence systems, say like Watson, in the agricultural uses. And of course, databases make this possible. Okay, and then here is a link on topic that's always one of my favorites: mapping. Now, I'm going to come down to week 10 for just a minute. I want to note this. You're going to see this thing, BI #1, page 25, T3 upload here. That's out of the business intelligence textbook. Okay, that brown one. That's one of those. That's one of the exercises in there. Now, you should have already uploaded. Okay, 10, 11, and 12, and we did 13 last week, and we're going to work on 14 today. So you should have uploaded 13 last week as well as 12. And here's this is for page 619. Here's some code for you for a problem there. I've got again some more uses of databases, either just for search and retrieval, or the use of databases as a platform that's multi-tiered, meaning underneath is the database, okay, itself, then a query engine of some kind where we pull data up, and then we take it off to produce analytics. We turn that data into information. And so you can see it, and of course here's Lunch's database 15 and 14, part 1. Each of those are due Okay. Now you say, okay, what about 13 and 14? Well, okay. I will want, what we're going to do is we're going to move over into 15. We'll look at chapter 15 and chapter 14. All right. Now I also have the week before that 13, which we've done. Okay. 14, which is 14, which is we're gonna do that, and then 15. Okay. And I see we've got 14, 15. And then I also have, I really have a part of, okay, I X these out because I decided to consolidate some things. So don't pay any mind. I'm seeing these right here, but you shouldn't be seeing them because they're not on your view. You may be seeing them because you're seeing my view, but we're not using, we have the same thing with the lunches database 15 part 2. I'd broken it up, but I wasn't comfortable with how it kind of worked itself out. So 13 you've already uploaded or should have, and we're going to work on chapter 14. 13 dealt with inner joins. 14 deals with outer joins. Okay. And so as you listen to this screencast, whether it's pre-recorded or it's one that I'm doing live, you'll always want to have the Patrick textbook out because we're going to walk through the code and all that business. So we're going to do our ritual. Now, I think if I'm not mistaken, I have the Patrick text, the files down here somewhere. I believe I have them. And I'll take a look around to see if I do. If not, I'll just download them. Well, I've got them around there somewhere. And so we're going to go over to the Patrick text. And we're going to go into files. And pardon me, I'll have a little bit of the sniffles today. Now let's do just a quick search. And there's the materials. And we'll download it. And I'm going to diminish my browser so I can get the access code for the specific chapters. I'll copy and replace. And then we'll get SQL Fun. And we'll put it out there. So here's SQL Fun. And then let's find that, that code that we dropped down here. And I know it's over here. I got a lot of stuff over here on my computer. I'm here between appointments for today, the 5th. So let's see. And I was thankfully that I was given a quiet room from which to work. Let's see if I can find that file. There's SQL Fun. Oh, I'm wasting my time and yours here. Hang on a minute. Well, I'll just download it again. Okay. I'm going to move this down just here and put it right above Cardinal Buddy. All right. Now it's going to be somewhere here. And I'll find it here in the next 25 years. And let me look in here for just a minute. Thought I might have something in here, but I don't. All right. no. What is this? I need to clean my screen up here. I've got a lot of stuff. I'm going to try. Let's try this one. And I'm looking for the access code. Oh, here it is. I just saw it. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for being patient, everybody. All right. Access code for the specific chapters. We'll open that jewel up. And we want chapter 14. So we're going to copy it. And we'll paste it right here. Here it is. And so we've got the code for 14. And again, we have the database, which we've been working on. All right. And this time we're going to look at outer joins. Okay. As again, when we talk about an inner join, we're talking about we have two sets of data, A and B. A on the left, B on the right. Parent and child. Okay, to use the technical terms. When we do an intersection, i.e. an inner join, we only retrieve the records where they match from the two sets. Then there's and then there's a thing called an outer join. And you can have an outer join on the parent, that is, say, the one on the left, in which you get everything for the parent, and in addition, anything that matches with what's over in the child or set B. And of course, the right-hand join is just the opposite. And it's just a strategy in terms of what information you're after and what you want to get. So we're going to go in here, and at the very bottom of page 519, okay, and they talk about outer joins are derived from inner joins, okay, and how we get that done. So I'm gonna diminish this for just a minute, okay? Now we'll open up, and here it is. This is for the bottom page 519. This is section. This is 14.1. Now let's look at this for just a minute, since I've got it out here. And there's nothing here that should be surprising. We're going to select A, which is some pseudonym we used for a table, dot, and of course the asterisk means everything, and we're going to put a comma, and then B, that's another table, dot, asterisk, which means we want everything from table B, from, and the from statements where we identify those tables. 2s is A, 3s is B, where A dot number equals 2, A dot number underscore 2 equals B dot number underscore 3, and we order it by A dot number 2. Okay. Now this is the code. All right. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to click create. We'll go to query design, and we're going to SQL view, and we're going to run it. All right. Now here we get and this is 14.1. We're going to save that. No, I don't want to close it. I'm going to save it, and we'll save it as 14-1. Now we've seen the code. All right, let's go down and look at the design view, okay, because we did the code. Notice what we've got right here. We've got everything from A, okay, and everything from B. And here we have the number for A is an ascending, and then the criterion is, does it match B dot number 3? Now let's go back, go over to page 520, and this will become more apparent to you, okay? Let's look at the top. The beginning table is the 2's table, okay? And that table has 2 columns, the number and the word, okay? And then the 3's table has the number 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, get it? Okay, the 2's is 2, 4, 6, 8. And then the word for 3, and then the word for each of those numbers. Okay, so we're going to do, we're going to do an outer join. Okay, and here at the bottom, go back to the top, page 518, and what they tell us is we're going to show the inner join of the twos table and the threes table. And they ask us to make a list of the rows of the beginning tables are dropped from the result table. Well, we see the beginning tables, okay, and then we get the result table, and we'll look at it right here. Okay, we've got the number 2, word 2, number 3, word 3. Okay, and we have, and they're matched on the number. Remember that if you go back up and look up here, they're matched where the number, by the number. And we see 6, 12, and 18. Then if you look, we see on the bottom, page 520, the rows that have been dropped. Okay? From the twos table, and the rows that have been dropped from the threes table. Now, I mentioned to you that there are two types of outer joins, left and right. There's also, okay, a full outer join, okay? And the full outer join just simply adds back anything that is dropped. The full outer join is we just get everything. It differs from a union, okay, in which we remove any duplicates. And so we can see the result table of the left outer join, the result table of a right outer join. This over on page 521. The left outer join has all the rows from the first table as well as rows from the second table. And then the right outer join has all the rows from the second table. Okay. And again, it's just an issue of what you want from the parent table or from the child. Now, those are technically the terms you use. I like table A and table B. So you say, okay, I'm working with two sets of data, like two tables. All right. So here, so that's 14.1. Okay. As they talk about, mention up there at the top, page 521, what left outer joins are, what right outer joins are, and what a full outer join does. Now, if you look over at page 522, you can see they've done the full outer join. All the rows from both tables are included. Okay? And they walked us through that process there for 14.2. Now, let's look here and see if he gives us a 14.2, and he doesn't. Is this a 14.1, then 14.3. So let's pop on over to 14.3. This is a left outer join. Okay, so we'll come down here, 14.3, we're going to select. We're going to get everything from the A table and everything from the B table, where the twos A, which we're identifying A as the twos table, a left outer join with the threes B. So table B is the threes table on the number into equaling the number in threes, or or the number 2 in you're talking about the table A is the twos, 3 is the threes. You can see why you use these pseudonyms, and then you have to identify them, because it starts to get real sketchy fast. You can get yourself confused, and that's why these help you. Okay, now we're going to copy all of this. This is section 14.3. Okay, and we're going to click create. And we do the query design, do the SQL, and we'll run it. And this is going to be 14-3. Okay, Now, let's notice what we have going on. If you look at page 523, you're going to see the beginning tables, the twos table, which you have two columns, as we said before, the number 2 and the word 2. Okay, and then the threes table, where we have the number 3 and the word 3. So these are 2, 4, 6, 8, and we come down to at 20, we get a null value, and at 18 in the threes table, we get a null value there. And you could see that literally in terms of these outputs. And here's the result set. This is what's at the bottom of page 523. We have a lot of null data here. And so we've done the left outer join. And again, let's go back down into the SQL view, and we'll see that. Here's the code. Here it is, left outer join. So we wanted everything out of that twos table, and then whatever matched in the threes table. And these techniques are they're just driven by your need, what you have in one table versus another. Now, I would say my experience has been over the years that the so-called A table and B table, typically the A table has a lot more data than does the B table. Okay, it's not often that they're going to have the same number of records. Okay, and it just simply becomes an issue of strategizing. And if you have that list, for example, in the twos in the beginning tables, and the twos 2, 4, 6, 8, you're in a position to kind of do some sketch work first of all to see how they work. I would draw some lines across and say, what am I going to get? But here we've done that left outer join. Okay, so that's 14.3. Now we're going to come on over here to page 524, and they're going to begin to walk us through a right outer join. So let's take a look at it. Okay, here's our code. And this will be 5. And as you notice, it's the same thing except for one thing. The only thing that's different is the syntax right here. We use right outer join. Okay, and we're gonna copy that, and we'll run 14.3, and then we'll click create, query design is off, and go to the SQL view. There we go. And we'll run it. And there is our right outer join. And as you notice on the right outer join, look at these two columns. Okay, this is the threes table. And here they are. The null 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Let's go back, and we're going to say this is 14.4. So we wanted all of this data plus anywhere where they matched. This is the left outer join. Here is the right outer join. Pardon me. 14.3 is the left outer join. 14.4 is the right outer join. I'm sorry. And you can understand now when I said that typically we work one of these sets of data, we're going to end up with more in the output or the data set than we would in the other. So it's an issue of strategizing. Okay, now they give us 14.5, which is a so-called full outer join. Okay, and we're going to talk about that for just a minute. Okay, now they ask us to select this from the dual, okay, and 14.5, and this text file is Oracle code, okay, and you can see it if you look there. And at the top there, he again walks us through the differences of a left outer join, a union, and a right outer join. Now, on the left outer join, we want everything from the left table, and then only what matches on the right. And then we do a union, we want everything on the right and only that which matches in the left. And so we do a right outer join, a union, and then a left outer join. Now, at the bottom of page 527, he gives you the code to do all of that. Okay? The full outer join, that syntax there that he gives you. Okay? That doesn't work. What works is the text at the bottom of page 527. And let's look at it for just a minute. Okay? We're going to select everything from B, everything from B. And then we're going to identify twos, which is A. And we're going to and then we're going to do a left outer join on threes, B. On a number, we'll match the numbers. We're going to get everything from A, and then wherever they match for B. This is the first step. Then we do the union. Okay, you see at the bottom, page 527, excuse me. Then we do select C and D. And notice what we've done here. We've used the same two tables, but this time we give them a pseudonym of C and D. And right after the union statement, we select everything from C, everything from D, and then we identify a C as the twos table, and we identify D's as the three table, and here we do a right outer join on the numbers. This isn't in the textbook or the department in the text files. And so we had the beginning tables were shown in the previous session. Then we get the full outer join. Okay, I'm not going to take time to try to type that code out. Page 527, you can see it. And notice, let's look at the parts of it. First of all, we have the left outer join. We've been doing those with no problem. Okay. And in fact, we're going to select A, B. I'm going to try this. I'm going to take this left outer join right here. See if we can do this. Okay. And I'm going to put this into a blank canvas. So I'm going to put it into create, query design, put out the SQL level. I'm going to do the right outer join. Okay. And I think we can order that. And then we'll come down and we'll try union. Okay. And then we're going to go back and find a right outer join. And I think I may have two and on number 2, and I'm going to get rid of this order phrase right here, just before union, and we're going to call this select. Instead of A, it's going to be C and then D. From 2s, which is C, 3s, which is D, on C number 2, and D number 2, order by and then order it by anything there. So we don't have an order statement either one. So we'll put the semicolon right there. And I'm going to take this up and I'm going to put it in the notepad and see if it looks like the code that works. I think it does. Let's just so you can see it a little better as well. Okay. In fact, what I'll do is I'll open up I'll open up a little Word. Let's just see. Now we're going to select A, everything in it, comma, everything in B, from 2s, which is A, and we're going to do a left outer join on 3s, which is B, on A number 2 equals B number 3. Then we have the union. Then we select everything from C, and then D, and we identify C as the 2s table, and we do a right outer join on 3s D on C number 2 equals D number 3, and we have our semicolon. So it looks like we're good to go. Let's take this, all right, and go back up here, and let's run it and see what we get. And there we are. We can go over and compare this with what's on the table on page 528, okay? And we're going to call this, we've done a full outer join, so we're going to call this, we're going to say this is 14.5. Now, before I depart from this, I want to show you one more time what's going on with an outer, with a full outer join. We get everything from A, we've got everything from B, and then we identify table A as the 2s table. Then we say, okay, we're going to do a left outer join, and then we identify 3s as the B table, and then we have our statement of equivalence, and they're equivalent on the number. Okay. Then we have union. Then we select everything from table C and everything from table D, and we identify table C as 2s. Yes, see, this is why now you can start to see why databases are such powerful tools, because I can take the 2 tables and using an alias for the table, I can create 4 and call the data from them. Okay, and then I've got the right outer join, and so I get that table as it shows us there. And I'll pop back up over here, all over on page 528, and we have our full outer join. Okay, and we're going to call that 14.5. All right. Now, as we walk on through the chapter, we go to 14.6, which is an introduction to the union. Now, in the middle of page 5, pardon me, page 529, all right, in the middle of page 525, they differentiate between an outer join, a full outer join, and a union. If we do a union, okay, we eliminate any duplicate rows. Okay, and we may and we don't if we do a full outer join. So if I want everything, I do a full outer join. If I want to get rid of the duplicates, okay, then I use a union. And this again is an issue of, you know, extracting the data that you want. As you can tell, a full outer join is give me everything, and a union is, well, give me everything that matches. And I don't want any duplicates. Okay. So let's go over there on page 530, and 530 walks you through, this is page 530, they walk you through two tables, okay? They have equal row structures. And so we combine all of the rows into one table. So now we literally we have 1, 2, 3 tables. We had a table A and table A. We now have table A and B to combine. And then we eliminate the duplicate rows and we have the union. And they show us the statement up there from the for the diagram. Now they're going to walk us through they're going to walk us through another procedure that you can use to form a union. Okay, but let's go ahead. We have that down there, and they're going to give us this. This is page 531, Oracle and Access step 1. We do insert into B. We select everything from A. Okay, so we're going to do this. All right, so let's click Create. Okay, Query Design. And I'm going to click Close. I'll go to the SQL view. And let's see if we've got this in here in the code. No, we don't, so we'll just write it in there. We've got select, this is the bottom of page 530. And then web union. That's right. That's right. We don't have just a straight table A, do we? So it's not going to give us that. Let's get rid of that. No. All righty. But they're showing us basically what's going on. We didn't have a table named A or B, but the 530 shows us the code, and we see the data flow diagram. Now they're going to walk us, another procedure to do a union, okay? And here's the Oracle and Access step 1. This is page 531. We insert into B, and we select everything from A. Again, they're assuming that we have a table called A and B, so that they're just showing us they have the table A and B in the process over there on page 530, excuse me, and then they're going to walk us through here on 531. Oracle and Access step 1. And then Oracle and Access, and then on Access step 2, we select distinct into C from B. Okay. Now we're going to come over to 14.7, and that's over on page 532. And we're going to show an example of a select statement that uses a union. Okay, so we're going to do 14.7. So we'll come down over here and the all right, let's think about what we're looking at for just a moment. We're going to select number 1 from table A. And then we're going to get word 1 as text 1 from table A. Then we're going to get the date from table A. And that table A is identified there as SEC 1407. Okay, first day. And then we get the union. Then we see the select statement from B, the word, the number, the date, and section 1407 underscore second B. And then we order by the number 1. Let's try it and see. I don't think we had to create a table before that. So let's take it and put it in here. And we'll click Create, Query Design. And I'm going to run it. And there we are. There's date 1, text 1, number 1. And they show us at 533 the 2 beginning tables, the first table and the second table. Okay, and then we get the result table. And this one's going to be 14.7. The author does a good job of showing us conceptually how we do these. Okay, now again, from a practical standpoint, the lunches database isn't much help, and I understand that. But we're looking at these, we're learning, okay? We're kind of getting our feet with them. But you can imagine, okay, for example, on the beginning table for 1407, let's say that you've got, okay, let's say that you've got equipment, tools, okay, that are either regular, as they say, or Phillips. All right, or let's say you have I don't know, tables from different languages. We use the union to pull those together. It's doubtful that you'll be asked to when you're out there. It's doubtful that you'll be asked to write queries like these. It is highly probable that you'll be given some kind of dashboard, and you'll be doing some hunts and some searches. Or the dashboard, if it's truly a dashboard, will feed you information that might require additional analysis or none at all. Okay? And the author gives us all kinds of notes over here on page 523. All right. Now, on page 520, you heard me take a deep breath. And the reason, now, for example, they give us one of the applications of outer joins, all right, is to count to 0. And 534, the bottom, and then all of 535 walks you through that process using the lunches table and the employee table. Okay, let's go in here and take a look at 14.8 and let's talk about it for a moment. All right, we're going to do an outer join. Okay, the top here, and I'm just going to highlight as we go along. All right, we're going to select the employee ID from A, the first name and last name. Now we've thrown a little wrinkle in. It's a little more complex. We're going to use the count function. Okay, well, where are we going to count? We're going to count the table B lunch ID, and we're going to name that column as number of lunches. So far, so good. And we're going to get that from the employees table A, and we're going to do a left outer join with lunches table B, and we're going to join them on the employee ID. Okay? Then we're going to group them, and then we're going to order them. So let's put this in here. And since it's 14.8, we should be able to see the beginning table. That's at the bottom of 534. And the employees table is alias table A. And the beginning table for lunches table is alias table B. So the employees table is the bottom page 534. And the top of page 535 is the alias B, i.e. the lunches table. So we're going to copy this. Hopefully this will all go well. Create. I'm going to do query design. Go to the SQL view. And we're going to run it. And there we are. So we have the employee ID, their first name and the last name, and the number of lunches that they've eaten. Notice that what holds everything together is the employee ID. And when you see, if you look at page 534, it's very typical that you'll see some column, typically an ID column, that ties together two tables. And once that's done, we can group them and we can order them. And you say, okay, where can I go from here? Where I could go from here would be to take this result set, the one that's shown on page 535, and take the result set, say, from an alias table C and an alias table D, on and on and on. But now you understand why I've spoken so much about the fact that we need to make sure that every record is unique. Okay? And we need to be careful about how we handle IDs. Right? Because these are unique, we're in good shape. And they're unique because they lay themselves out in a serial fashion. So we're going to call this, we're going to save this as 14.8. And so far, you know, you've seen the concept. What I really like about this textbook is that he shows us beginning tables and the ending table. What I don't like is that is that we're dealing with lunches, employee lunches. Surely he could find something, a little more, other than a pedestrian kind of thing like this. Okay. But that's a battle for another day. Now, over on page 537, he takes us to 15.9, okay, 14.9. Now, this is not in the text, okay? Okay, 14.9 is not in the text file, but we could write it if we want to. We might as well go ahead and do that. And so we're going to select a dot asterisk. You see my typing skills, how good they are, comma, and B dot lunch underscore ID, comma, and then we want B dot lunch underscore date, comma, then we want B dot employee underscore ID as employee underscore ID2, comma, and B dot date underscore entered, okay, into SEC 1409. So what we're doing right now is I'm going to select everything from A. Then from B, I'm going to get the lunch ID. This is the top of page 437, that code. I'm going to get the lunch date, the employee ID, and I'm going to give it an alias, column alias, as employee underscore ID2. Then the date entered into section 1409. Now, section 1409 is not in the text, okay? This is not in the text files. And so we may hit an error, but the code is right. And we're going to get into from one underscored employees. Of course, I have to identify that. And we're going to do left outer join and left outer join one underscore lunches. Identify that as B on A dot employee underscore ID equals B dot employee underscore ID. Now let's see what we get. And we'll toss this in here and see if it runs. Create, query design, close. One employees. Okay. I'll try that with L employees. Let's see, what are they telling me here? Let's look at this for a minute. That's probably going to, instead of one, it's going to be L. Let's see what we get. B underscored entered. I got parameter error. It's right here. B underscore. Okay. Here's my error right here. And this should be B dot date underscored. Maybe that'll do it. Let's see. We're about to paste 18 new rows. Beautiful. Let's go. Here we are. And then we'll look at the data sheet view. And here we are. With a minor bit of battling. And I'm going to call this one 14.9. Okay. Now I want to go back here for just a moment, and I want to clean this up first of all so we can talk about it. B employee as okay, it's ID. B, okay, this will be B dot date underscore entered. Into section 1409 from employees, and that should be an L instead of a 1. Small case L. Now, we're going to select everything from table A. Then from table B, we're going to be selective. We're going to get lunch ID, the lunch date, okay, and we're going to get the employee ID, and we're going to rename that column as employee underscore ID 2, and we're going to get date entered, and we're going to select that into the table section SEC 1409. Okay. So we're doing our outer join with a collection of other data. So others want to show us we can do an outer join, a left one, okay, an outer join, and then collect other data. And we're going to get that into SEC 1409 from the employees, and we identify table A as employees, table B is identified as lunches. And we're going to that left outer join on where the employee ID and where the employee IDs match up in both tables. Now, if I were to go through, and I did this in fact in my book at the bottom page 537, I just put in the tables that each are drawn from. Okay, and really we get 18 rows of columns from both tables, and all the rows and all of the rows are created by the outer join. So if you look there, the employee first name is A and B. and then A and B. Then department code is A, the hire date is A, the credit limit, the phone number, and then we get the manager number, employee ID, and we get all of that data. As he mentions there, you can't see everything because of a space limitation, but here we are. And we had to do a little bit of work with it. Okay, now you're going to notice something. Okay, we have duplicate data that appears. Well, we really don't. Okay, and I'm going to show you why. It appears we have duplicate data, but you can see, okay, we have the lunches of each employee. Now, this is something, as I've said before, this is, of course, what we would call a fact table or a fact view. This is really a fact table, okay? And I could take this query, and which I've created, and dump it into Excel and do some work with it. We could look at each employee. We could look at the date, the credit limits, you name it, it's there. And so we've done 14-8. Okay. Now we come over to page 538, excuse me, and we see another example for 14-9, okay? And this is that right here. This is like the first ID. We're going to do the count. So let's do this here because we're going to include the count function as number one. So we're going to select the employee ID, first name, last name. Okay, we're going to select those columns. Then we're going to count. Then we're going to count the lunch ID as number of lunches. Okay, and we're going to get that from the table section 1409. Then we're going to group by employee ID, first name, last name, and then we're going to order it by the employee ID. And this is, again, just a simple way to show the number of lunches that they're going to attend. So we can just slap it in there. We've added that nuance of running the count function. And so we'll click create, query apartment, query design. I'll put that into the SQL view, boom, and we'll run it. And there we are. And we've done 14-10. Actually, we're going to save this as 14-9 example 2. Okay. Now, as we move on over into through the chapter, we come to in page 539. They talk about a full outer join in sorted order. Okay. And we want to use a row function that combines the values of the number columns. Now, in Oracle, they use the NVL function, the null. That's for Oracle. For Access, the function is the NV, pardon me, the NZ, okay? And that is, we use the non-zero function. And over on page 540, the text, the Access SQL they give you there doesn't match the text file. You almost literally have to cut and paste through it. All right. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to get A and B, everything from A and everything from B. We're going to use the NZ function, okay? And the NZ function, as they mentioned on page 539, is the non-zero function. And so we're going to take those numbers using the non-zero function times 1 as a sort order. And sort order is going to be that far right-hand column on the result table that you see over on page 541. And we're going to select that from the 2's table, and we'll name it A. We're going to do a left outer join with the 3's table, B, and 2's table and 3's table are at the bottom. We're going to do a union. We're going to select C and D, everything from them, and we're going to use the NZ function again. And get it from the 2's and do a right outer join using the 3's on this and match the C and D numbers, and we're going to order by sort order, and that's what you get over there. The text, as I made a note to myself, as you come down to 410, it does not match. You'll have to do a little bit of work. Now, I think the only thing we're going to have to do is come in here and change this. From MVL to NZ. Okay, as sort order. And we need to add in the union. We've got the, okay, so you got the select A as sort order from 2's A, and then we have a left outer join. I'm working on that query there in the middle of page 40. Left outer join 3's B on A number equals B number score 3, and we're gonna order by sort order. Well, what we're gonna need to do from 2's A, left outer join on number. Now I'm going to come down here, and right under that we're going to put a union. Okay. Now get rid of this, and we're going to repeat that, except we're going to use C and B union, and then we're going to select A and select everything from. I'm just going to do cut and paste. I'm going to right under union, and I'm going to make that table C. Okay, make that table D. Okay, and then I'm going to do the NZ. D number 3, and so I'm going to do I'm going to copy this NZ All right. And C number 2, C dot number 2, D dot number 3, okay? And this time, instead of as sort order, we're going to do times 1. And then we'll put from 2's C. And I'm cutting and pasting as I go along and copy that. That's going to be from 2's C. All right. And then I'm going to do a right outer join. And then I'm going to do a right outer join 3's D. Copy that here. Right, and I'm going to make that a right outer join. From 3's D. And that's going to be on, and we'll just get this, and we'll on C dot number 2, B dot number, D dot number, okay, and we'll come down and we'll order by sort now. Sort order. So let's see if we did what we were supposed to. Let's start. Follow me on page 540, that Access SQL. I'm going to select everything from A, everything from B. Instead of the, I'm going to use the NZ. That means non-zero. And I'm going to have A number 2, and then B number 2, B number 3 as sort order. And I've got an underscore there from the 2's, and 2's is the A. And then we're going to do a left outer join, and 3's will be the B table on A dot number underscore 2, and then the number B dot number 3. And then we do the union statement. Then we select everything from C, and then we select everything from D. Then we do the NZ function again. And this time we're going to multiply it times 1. Okay. And we're going to get that from 2's C. So C is identified in the 2's table. Then we're going to do a right outer join for 3's D on C number 2 goes D number 3. And we're going to order by sorter. And let's see what we get. So I think we're in good shape. But as you can see, we're using aliases, and we're doing a left outer join in the top of this thing. Then we do a union. Then we start a new select statement where we do a right outer join. Okay, and we end it by ordering it by sort order. So I'm going to click Control, and that'll copy it. And we're going to go in here and click Create, Query Design, SQL, and let's run it and hold our hands. Syntax error in the order by sort order. And I think I needed a semicolon, not a full colon. Actual order and the order by. So here's where I messed up. Order by sort underscore order semicolon. I think will work now. There we go. And that, my friends, is going to be 1410. So we'll say it as 1410. Key thing in this is the structure. And you'll see that. Well, let's just go back up here where we were and see where you can see the structure. Okay. And where was I working at? Over here? over here. Okay, we're going to do our select statement, and we use the NZ function. Okay, then we identify the tables, and then we say, okay, how are we going to join them? Well, what column or what dimension or column are we going to use? And it's the number. Then we perform a union, and then we're going to select everything from 2 more tables, and we're going to repeat the NZ, except this time we're going to give it a number. Okay, and that's going to produce our number, and then we're going to do and we identify tables C and D, and note we have a right join now. We've already done a left arrow join, now we're doing a right arrow join, and then we use the number again as the linkage, and then we order by sort order, and notice we had created this as sort order. And so we pulled them together. So let's look back here at our results set. And does it match what's over on page 541? Yes, it does. Okay. And what have we done here? Well, we've created a full outer join. Okay. And then we create a column that we create a column, okay, that sorts the rows in numeric order. Okay. Now, if we have the sort order, and what we want to do here, now the sort order should be in ascending order. Okay. So what I'm going to do, and let's go into 1410 for a moment. Let's go into the design view. Okay. Well, we'll go to the SQL view. And I want to get that same sort order. Back up here and look at the view. I'm going to go back in here to the SQL for a moment. And what we could do would be to try to put these in ascending order. I think we'll end up doing more work than we need to. So what I'm going to do is, this is 14. This is the sort order. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on the sort order, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to find the filter, and I'm going to do it in ascending order. Oh, should give me that. How strange. Take it off. And I want to I'll remove the sort. And we're back to 10. So we would want to do a little bit of work with this. Okay. And boy, that bugs me. Let's look at this for one more minute here for just a second. All right. Get over to an edit. Yeah, I want to see something for a minute. Okay, this full outer join is supposed to be sorted by that order by sort order. Let's go to SQL view for a minute. I see what happened. Here's where we messed up. Come back up to the top here, and it's going to be times 1 as sort order. That's where I messed up. I didn't do the counter on the top. Now it's running now. There we are. So what I've done, everybody, is that on that first NZ in your text, it's that highlighted NZA number. I didn't put in times 1 as a sort order, so I didn't do it correctly. But now we're good. Okay, and that is 1410. So we see the result table and we match up. 1411. As we move on through chapter 14. Okay, we start to look for things like finding the defects in a pattern. Okay, and we're trying to find missing numbers. Okay, and we get a count, and here we have the key is at the bottom of this is the having not clause. Let's look at this for just a minute, okay? And here we're going to select, and the key part here is the having not. We're using having not, and then we're going to count, and the B dot in that number equals 1. So we're going to find how many times something is missing. We have the beginning table up there in 543. We have the result table. Now, these are, say, defects in a pattern of some kind. That could be in records. That could be in maybe increments of some kind in an engineering setting. That could be tickets you issued. Who knows? Okay, but here's basically what we're doing is we're counting using the count. Okay, and then we do a left outer join with the numbers table. Okay, and then we group them, and we see those that don't have a count, and those that don't have a count we identify. That's all that we're doing there in 1411. And you can see the beginning table and the ending table. So I don't know if there's any great value for there. You can use it to compare two tables, 2 or more columns, to see if they work. And again, there's over on page 545. We have a beginning table 1 and then a beginning table 2. Then we have a result table. And we find the, and here we find the rows in the SEC 1412A table that don't exist in the B table. Okay, and this might be customers. That one list could be customers who were current last year or last quarter with customers who are current now, for example, or they've made a purchase, or any one of those number of things. We can compare the column. Let's just go ahead and run 1411 so we can say we did it. Okay, won't kill us, and we'll click create. I'll do the query design, SQL, and here we go. Now we end up with an expression over there, and that expression should be count BN. So I'm going to try this. And let's see, I'm going to go back down here. Look, if I want to, well, let's go back down to the design view. Let's go down to the SQL. And we could try this as count B dot N. Yeah, it's not going to let us have that, use that expression. This is one that's vexed me a number of times, and one I'm not doing right. Go back down to the SQL view. I'll get rid of all this. And I'm going to go back here and paste it in. So I get the result set. It's just not. Let's go down there and look at that. That's 1411. So let's go ahead and just save it as that. And I'm going to add its expression. Let's go back down to the let's look at SQL and see what we can do with it. Try that. Nope. It's not letting us do that. We may have need to put the so we'll stick at that. Well, we have count of, but we don't have the count. So I've got the result table of NN, count of N. That'll work. Okay. All righty. As I mentioned, 1412, we're comparing tables. And you can see we do the selection, select statement of stuff from A and B. Then we identify the tables. And we have the left outer join. And another, so we're doing an outer join. And from the table B on the first column equals first column, and the second column equals the second column. And then we put in a where condition. It's null. And then we order by the first column and then the second column. And we run through those, and it gives us that result set. Those that don't exist in the table. Frankly, some of these functions over here, like, and then, well, okay. This would be 1412. And let's look at that, because he starts moving away. Okay. And he starts moving into we want to compare two different full outer joins. None of the text on page 547 is in the text file. You have to input all of it, but you notice you have the first full outer join, then you have the second full outer join. Okay, and you have the beginning tables, and then you have the result set for the first full outer join, and then the second outer join. And he walks it through right there in the fruits. And he talks about handling these again over page 550. He has text. He has text there. He has a code that's not in the text, and he gives us some key points. Okay, in terms of 552 and 53. Again, some key points about outer joins. Okay, so we're going to stop at that one because I just don't see the need to have you try to input all that. So I want to say that. So we went through 14 up to all of these up to 1411. Okay. Now I'm going to close this off and I'm going to save it. Yes, I want to save. All right, and I'll get rid of this. All right, and I have my SQL fund, and I'm going to open it back up just to make sure I've got my queries down there, and they're there. And here I'm going to put SQL. Now I'm going to rename it SQL fund Harmon Keith LD 14, and then I upload it where it's due, and then I go back over to the syllabus, which would be the easiest place. Okay. And I'll find upload access LD 14 here, and there you be. LD 14, not 4. Yikes. Sorry about that, folks. Here it is. And upload it. And so you've got it done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over to the files section. And I'm going to stick it in there. I'm going to upload it. Hopefully we won't have all these craziness that we get. I'm going to go to the desktop and I want to find, here we go, SQL fund to the Harmon Keith LD 14. And I'm going to upload it. And let's go down here and find the SQL fund. All right, there it is. But I would suggest that you upload this already. Do it immediately so you don't wind up forgetting or something like that. Now, I want to take this opportunity to talk some with you about what's coming up, all right? And we're going to be looking at unions, at union and union all. And we're going to be looking at the difference between a union and a join. See, now up to now, okay, we've been just doing queries to extract data. Now we've started combining tables, okay, and extracting data from them. And our data sets, if you look, are now starting to get a little bit bigger each time. We have the beginning table and the results set, okay? And, if we start stringing together, okay, result sets with combinations of tables, we can just work on and extract down to really the core essence of what we're after, what we're trying to find out. Here we've been doing this lunches database, but again, the fields, okay, those are the variables, i.e. the dimensions. What are you after? What do you want to get? And understand that combinations of fields, a combination of fields equals a record. And how do we find a way to tie tables together? Okay, and I want to talk about that. While we're talking about these unions and so forth, and the joins. Let's see if this will help us a little bit. This is a JPEG that talks about vertical joins. Let's see if it's going to give me anything, or if it's going to render. Okay, here's a very practical example of a right join output. Here we have purchase orders. Okay, then we have products, and we do the right join. And notice we have everything from the products. We have the product ID. We have the product number. Okay, and we have the standard cost. And we have everything from the products table. Okay, and we get the right join output. And everywhere things don't match up, we've got nulls. All right. As we start to look at this, and we begin to work with we begin to work with union and union all. Okay, we're going to move on over into chapter 15, and you'll want to take a look at it because it talks about the difference between a table and a join. Okay. And there in the middle of page 557, the author shows us the differing geometry of a union and a join. In a union, we just get the rows. Okay, it's additive in nature. In a join, it's multiplicative or associative. And the maximum number of rows is the product of A times B. The maximum number of rows in a union is A plus B. So you can start to see how that all comes about. Now, I want to see over here for a moment. And I have a GIF here about inner joins. And I think if I'm not mistaken, I probably have some resources for you up here in this announcements section. Maybe not. No, I'm sorry. Up here in the modules, excuse me. And I may have some stuff there for you to look at. What I was looking for was the Northwind Traders. And so let me go back in here. I want to look at the files section. All right, now I'm put the north wind. No wonder I misspelled it. Huh. I thought for sure we had the Northwind Traders database. I'm shocked at that because I can't believe we don't, because that is we have the data warehouse concept. Okay. And let me pull down here and see if we can find it. Well, maybe not. I could have swore I had that in here. But maybe we don't. Apparently not. Let me go back. Well, let's do this for just a quick second. Let's use the world's greatest database, and we'll do Northwind Traders. And the database, okay, and they have Northwind Traders database, Northwind Traders access, and you can learn a little bit about it. And I think we might have shown you in another course. But the bottom line is, I may have it over here in one of these. If it's not in here, let me go back over to the modules, and let me see if I can find it. And no such doing. Well, you'll want to go out and take a look at it, because what they will show you are some excellent examples, okay, of joins and how we link tables. Okay. Well, that's going to do it for part one, and I'll see how much I've got left, and I'll probably be looking for some other resources for you to take a look at that have maybe a more practical bent, or we may look at chapter 15. Before I go, I want to see again kind of where we are, so we're aware of what's happening, okay? And this is week, I'm going to Control F, and I'm going to do week 9, okay, and that's where we be. And let me do, I want to take just a little bit of time since we're doing okay here. Visual information seeking mantra. I want to show you this for a moment. And this is kind of the and the visual information seeking mantra is a process by which we handle data. And here we do overview, zoom and filter, details on demand, we view relationships, we look at history, and then we do extraction. And this is from an article that was written way back in 1996 with some references, okay? And again, this ties in with people saying, look, we've got all these different tools, we need to kind of get a disciplined approach. And so we do the overview, the zoom and filter, we get details on demand, we view relationships, the history of data, and then we begin to extract. All right, and we'll go back to week 9. And I also would like you to take a look. These are kind of interesting. And of course, as we move on here, we're going to move into week 10. All right, and you have that first assignment from the business intelligence text. That's the brown book, and you're going to want to go over to page 25. Okay, and you're going to want to do BI number 1. Okay, and I've got some other kinds of resources for you there. Then you'll see Lunch's database. No, I X'd those out because I decided to consolidate some of that. So we're not going to mess with that. Then we come down to the 19th. Okay, and you've got an internet exercise number 7. That is also from the business intelligence text. Okay. All right. And then we come down to week 12, and this will be flex time. This will be time for you to work on projects and the final. Okay. You won't have any class session per se. Now, I will be available, okay, but I won't be doing anything because you're going to be working on the check your understanding assignments, and I give you the instructions there. If you choose to do an alternative to that, you can do Oracle, and I have instructions for you. Then I have a SAS visual analytics project for you to do. If you choose to do extra credit, here you are. And then you have another, you have BI number 2, that's page 182. That's from the business intelligence text. So is the internet exercise number 9 and number 5. Those are from the business intelligence text. Then you got flex time. Okay, you're working on projects going along. And then you have the week of the 10th, flex time. Now, you've got stuff that's due. Okay. And then you have the final exams. If you've taken a class with me, you know that I will typically have a part of the exam that's due at the start. Okay. And then I will typically have tests, okay, that are due at the end. And I have those final exams there for you. Okay. All right, my friends, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to end this now and look to see how many minutes we got because we have to have the magic 150 minutes. I may do another chapter or I may look for some additional resources for you on joins. Okay. So take a lot. Thanks you very much and take care. And if I can find Tradewind's database and stick it in here, I will. Northwind Traders, I mean. Thanks a lot, folks. Have a good one. I'm going to stop the share. Okay. I'm going to stop.